This was, still is to me, Jan. Died on the 22nd of August after probably around about 25 years with dementia, right from the very first sign to her passing gently in her sleep, peacefully. I can think of no more difficult situation than long-term dementia. I really can't. I mean, I've had family members with cancer, I've had family members with heart problems, all sorts of stuff. I can't think of a single thing which is worse than dementia, because with dementia there is no hope. In truth, I'm rejoicing that she's free of it and that she's at peace now. Jan and I were close, really, really close. My mum said, you can't see where Jan stops and Bruce begins, because I can't explain it, we were just so close. We never ever had an argument, not once. At the time when Jan was at the stage of needing it, there was very little help available. So we had no respite, we had no people coming in. It was literally just me trying to look after her, plus hold down a full-time job. So many people didn't visit her because they said, we want to remember her as she was. And, oh God, I'd go mad at that, because that denies the person as they now are. And they're the same person, for God's sake. It's just this wall comes down which stops them communicating with you and stops them communicating with their own body and stuff. But if you say, well, I want to remember them as they were 20 years ago, then what good's that? Useless. When speech goes, and I think her hearing was a bit dodgy as well. I couldn't tell because you couldn't ask her, because she couldn't answer. So you have to find ways of communicating, and increasingly what I was doing was putting my forehead on her forehead, because I think she picked up the vibrations of my voice, because she certainly did respond to that. You would find that you'd go for months without any obvious response, and then one day you'd say something just not expecting anything and she'd say yes. And you think, where did that come from? And you suddenly realise that they're in there all the time. They just haven't got the means of getting out, and what you've got to do is you've got to try and, more than ever, get into their world and try and find some way of making contact. At the end, August the 16th, Jan stopped eating and drinking. I spoke to the GP, and the GP said, I think she's just tired of it all. So it was 6 days later she passed away, but I spent the last days with her all day long, holding her hand, talking to her. And that was the really important point. I had the opportunity to be with her, and it gave me time to say all the things I needed to say to her. In all these things, I'm looking at Jan with dementia, and I want to get back to Jan before dementia. And that's already happening. I was on a walk the other day. I like to walk around a little bit, and I got a kind of a sliver of Jan as she was way before dementia came, and so I think she's coming back to me now.